Later on tonight, I'm about to have another belt grading, so I thought to create for you guys a quick video based on my Kyokushin Karate experience and progress ever since the time that I had started 7 years ago. So, as you can see here, these are my belts and certificates for each grading. I first began training in Kyokushin Karate in March of 2010. And 2010 was an alright year. I had trained in Muay Thai kickboxing before, and it took a while for me to adjust to the karate style. So I had a little trouble with that. Perhaps for the first 2 years of training in Kyokushin Karate, I had my Muay Thai stance, and there's just a few minor differences. I first heard about Kyokushin Karate in 2008 from a good friend of mine, and he had told me that Kyokushin Karate is very similar to Muay Thai kickboxing in some of the ways that they strike. So it caught my interest real quick. Plus, at the time, I was studying a little Japanese, and I was a bit into the Japanese culture. So I said, why not? Why not study something Japanese? So I got into Kyokushin Karate 2 years later after first initially hearing about it, starting in March of 2010. So yeah, my that was 7 years ago. My first year was an alright year. I actually ended up leaving 2010 with a orange belt. When 2011 came around, I entered it with a orange belt, and I found that I wasn't able to train as much as I wanted to. Though I remember my trainers and senpai and all, they kept telling me never to give up. So in 2011, I always had Kyokushin Karate in my heart, and I actually ended up going to Japan for my second time in 2011. And I actually ended up buying a lot of Kyokushin Karate accessories and two dogi. And I'll probably make another video on that later on down the road. So in 2011, I didn't grade at all. And I waited until 2012. So I continued my training in 2012. And I remember that year, I actually ended up going to Montreal to attend a seminar with Francisco Filho and my dojo members as well. So yeah, that was actually a very good time. And I actually ended up doing my grading through that, learning the Kihon and watching the tournament, and yeah, it was an all right time. I'll probably make another video on meeting Francisco Filho later on down the road as well. So I got my blue belt in 2012. So I had two gradings in 2012 altogether. And right before leaving for Japan, due to my blue belt arriving at the dojo a little later than usual, sometimes we get those delays. I actually ended up picking up my blue belt right before getting on the plane, or practically right before getting on the plane, I should say. Anyway, yeah, 2012 was a good year again because my training partners at the dojo, we all made good bonds, good friendships. These are all long-lasting friendships, I feel. But anyway, I ended up entering Japan with my blue belt, and a few months after arriving to Japan, which was March 24th, 2013, I participated in my first belt grading in Japan, and that went really well. Later on that year, I had gained my yellow belt. And altogether, my first year training in Japan, it was so-so, nothing special. I could tell you guys that I had a broken rib, dislocated wrist, and And yeah, I had a lot of complications with work and this and that, but I managed to get through that the first year pretty well. But anyway, on to the 2014 now. 2014, where are my belts? Nothing. I actually didn't grade in 2014. I had a lot of complications. For one, I had dealt with a couple injuries during training. I actually ended up missing a belt grading, and I remember when summer was approaching, I actually had a financial issue, and I wasn't sure whether or not I would be getting a job. 2014, and then I actually ended up getting a job before the summer, and I signed up for my first tournament. Now, the tournament never took place because I had inflammatory issues with my knees. I had like arthritis in my joints, and I wasn't able to do anything, or I wasn't able to perform well. So 2014 was completely skipped. Now, on to 2015. Now, I was able to gain my first stripe on my yellow belt. And that year, as far as training went, it went pretty well. It went better than my 2013 year, I think. So, yeah, everything went pretty well. I actually signed up to my first karate tournament, which I participated in. I actually ended up losing 2 fights, and it was a really nice experience just being able to be a part of the whole tournament atmosphere and all. A real learning lesson anyway. So at the end of 2015, or before the end, I should say, or before the end of yeah, before the end of October, I actually gained my green belt. Now, my green belt was given to me right before I took off to the 11th World Karate Championship in Tokyo to watch, So, yeah, I got the green belt, and that's about it. And as for 2016, 2016 was another funny year. Again, I began questioning myself, and I was, asking myself whether or not I was worthy for the belt. And I sort of felt like I wasn't worthy for the belt. And so I didn't grade at all. I had a lot of issues at home, work, job, this and that, life getting in the way. So I wasn't able to grade at all. So all in all, in total, I missed out on a total of 6 belt gradings. 2 in 2011, another 2 in 2014, another 2 in 2016. So I seem to be skipping years all the time. But anyway, tonight I have another belt grading, so I'm going all out. Like, I've been training since the beginning of this year, and ever since joining the gym, and really pushing or putting in a lot of work into my kata and fighting ability. I'm hoping it all pays off by the end of tonight. So yeah, this week in total, I have 2 belt grading days, like we always do. We have it on Monday, and we have it on Thursday night. So there you go. Until the next video, keep your chin up, stay strong, never give up. It's one love, one Kyokushin. Os.